Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. I'm coming to you live from India today, and I want to tell you that Canadian housing market crisis is just the beginning that nobody is talking about. But I want to give you a warning before it happens, when it's actually already happening, but I don't know why nobody is talking about it. Here's the thing that I wanted to mention for you, which is very important for any one of you who is watching this video and at some point are planning to own any real estate, for that matter, house, condo, anything, anywhere in Canada. It's very important that you listen to this one, because that might be your last opportunity to get anything. So number one thing that I wanted to mention is investors and institutional buyers, and this nobody is talking about it. So the most important thing is, of this crisis, there are people who are waiting, maybe like yourself or somebody you know. There are two types of people right now that are not buying houses. First type of people are like, they're waiting for the housing market to crash, which is probably not going to happen, you know, the way that everyone expects it to happen. And the second part about it is people waiting for interest rates to go up, and they simply cannot afford buying a house in Canada. So those two categories of people are the ones that are waiting to purchase a house. They are trying to wait out until everything settles down. But there are other buyers, and you don't see them so easily because it's very difficult to find who is responsible for it. But you should know that in the United States, 33% of the properties sold in January of last year were purchased by investors, and that includes institutional buyers. And from my experience, I've seen a lot of companies buying homes in Calgary. Now, I'm a realtor myself with eXp Realty in Calgary, Alberta. My contacts will be in the description of this video. I know a lot about real estate because my wife, Nito Reltsev, she's there with my kid. We are on vacation in India, just over there. We are walking towards this palace. It's like the place where the kings, one of the kings used to live here in India. So we are on vacation. Trying to stay away from Arctic cold that's happening right now in Calgary, Alberta. But anyways, this is the problem that nobody's talking about, that can leave you homeless. And, oh, well, not homeless, but on rent for the rest of your life. Let me explain. First thing that you should know is that there are institutional buyers. So it is someone, it's a company that has billions of dollars that can just buy houses for cash. Unconditional offers, meaning no inspection, no financing, no BS. They just go and buy it with their realtor and they make it happen. Okay, so there are those institutional buyers that you cannot compete with. They would always outbid you because they don't need a mortgage, they're going to buy it for cash. And they are buying a lot of properties right now everywhere in Canada. So why are they doing it? It's actually a pretty crazy concept. First of all, you're investing that money, right? So there can be some certain tax write-offs and expenses. Secondly, the rents are at historical highest because of the interest rates. So it pays dividends. It pays huge dividends like nobody else. It protects their money from inflation. So they buy houses like that. Now they're protected from inflation, right? They are making money from that income as well. They don't have to pay tax on that income because they invested that money. That's an expense for them. And now they can also use that money, okay? They can use that assets as a collateral with the bank to get another mortgage. And that's Nito. Nito, say hi to our channel. That's our mortgage broker with DLC Clear Trust Mortgages, guys. Her contacts are also going to be in the description of this video. By the way, Nito has an awesome application that allows you to pre-qualify yourself for a mortgage without needing to go for like pre-approval. I mean, it's not as accurate as pre-approval, but you don't have to contact anyone. The link is in the description of this video. You can just download it and you can actually know what you'll be qualified with your income, basically give you a basic idea or an estimate on how much you can afford. But anyways, here's the crazy part that I want to tell you that no one is talking about. So those buyers, those companies that has billions of dollars, unlike you or me, so they have the money, they buy it for cash. Once they buy that stuff for cash, guys, they put that as an expense. They don't have to pay tax on it. Now there are certain expenses, there are property management, there's advertising, there's so many costs involved into it for their accountants to write off, but yet that money stays with them, and it's inflation, protected from inflation. So you're not wasting so much of, basically you're not losing money, and the rents are so high, it's really good return on investment for them with such rents. Now you can also use that asset that you have now to get a loan with the collateral or home line of equity or whatever loan. There is a mortgage broker in front of me. You can contact Nito, she'll tell you about the loans, commercial and non-commercial. And anyways, you can get money from that. And that money can be used to buy more properties or be invested into something. So you're literally like multiplying the money that you have like that. They're buying the properties, they're collecting insane rents, they can offset it for tax purposes, they can reinvest it into more things besides buying real estate, into other business things. So it's a really smart decision to make. Now that also creates a shortage of houses, which in terms increases the price of the houses, which we call inventory in real estate. And now with that inventory being short and prices being high, and they're being able to compete with those multi-billion corporations buying houses and offsetting it to their property managers, the rents go up. So now at a certain point, you cannot afford a house anymore. The rents are high because there's not enough of houses, and the interest rates are high, and they can afford it because the landlords are now running the show, and you're forced to pay the rent whatever they want, and you can buy a house. And it encourages those people, those investors who has the money, to buy more properties, to reinvest it into the housing market again, to put it on rent for you and me. Well, luckily I purchased some properties already, so I don't have to worry about it. But anyways, in short, what I'm saying is, it's an endless cycle to keep you homeless without being able to ever afford a house. And I don't even know any kind of measures or legislations that can restrict those corporations from buying any properties like that, to protect you as a future homeowner or tenant from such misuse and things like that. So in a way, it's a very profitable business. You keep on buying properties like that, you don't lose your money. You can go to a bank offset, it increases the inflation rate, and I mean not inflation rate, but I mean the housing prices start to skyrocket. It protects the money from inflation rate, makes the money, creates housing more unaffordable, makes them more money, makes them more interested to reinvest into it, and makes you become their tenants and paying higher and higher rents and not being able to afford it, and creating that shortage. Once again, their assets go up, and that's how, guys, this is Toronto and Vancouver for you. And fingers crossed for now for Calgary, where I am, things are a little bit better, but I already see more and more house flippers. I see people doing what it's called, guys, they are basically buying houses, what is it called, look how many stairs I'm climbing. They're house hacking, they're buying houses, they're small investors, they're big investors. Everyone is starting the roller coaster in Calgary as well. And unfortunately for this crisis, what I see is houses becoming more unaffordable, less chances. Look at that, my kid is running. My kid is running to say hi to you guys. Adrian, be careful there on the staircase. So, we all want a home for our kids, we all want a home for ourselves, but this crisis is going to be worse than I expected it. I don't expect the housing prices to crash by much, and I expect in the next 5-10 years the housing prices to be so much, and most of people who are watching this channel will not be able to afford one. That's what I see. And that's unfortunate. And I don't consider condo as good as a house. I don't consider apartment as good as a house, because you collectively own it with somebody, like there is a condo board and all those sorts of things. I prefer no condo. I feel simple. I prefer where you kind of have more rights over the land than with the condo. So like that can be out of reach for so many Canadians. It's already out of reach, but it's going to be getting worse and worse before it gets better. Will it get better? I don't see it in the foreseeable future for now, unless something changes with the government. Anyways, this is what I wanted to tell you about current housing market. My anticipation that the housing crisis is going to be, instead of a bubble, and you would think all the rich guys are going to lose all of their money, No, the poor people are going to get screwed again. That's my forecast. See you in the next video. Don't forget to follow me. Bye for now.